so we just want to be prepared. We started with public hearings and planning meetings. How do we get those moving forward? So we looked at a different model for this, calling people in to present their cases one at a time through text messages and things like that, keeping the chairs arranged 6 feet apart, keeping crowd control in the lobbies. Similar, it's the same thing that we talked about in the beginning, just applying it to public meetings. PPE, face coverings will still be used. And then we went into high customer volume department, and I'm going to let Shannon have worked really hard with probate and staff, going through every single transaction to figure out how to do this in a safe way for employees and the public.
Good morning. Thank you for taking the time to look at some of the proposals that we have gone over, and I have to thank Judge Sholey, Dean Mott, Commissioner Fowles, and their staff. Spent a lot of time talking to probate supervisors and employees. I have the unique position of managing our non-emergency call center, so I hear about everything that the callers are asking about. And so we have a really good idea of what services they are most concerned about getting back the ability to do in a timely manner, that there are just no ways around doing some of these online. Our phase 1 is very limited, but registering a vehicle, and that includes folks, as we're coming up into summer, we're starting to get lots of calls about that already. Probate did very quickly get online the ability to register a vehicle if it had already been titled in Alabama, but if it's not been titled in Alabama, there's currently no way for that to be done. And while the Alabama Department of Revenue has extended the deadlines, that's still an issue for people. Driver's license renewals also can be renewed online, but there are situations where that is not an option for some individuals. If they renewed online 4 years ago, for example, they can't renew online again. And then, of course, we get several hundred calls a day about the vehicle tag renewals. So, as we started considering the different ways that we could do this, a lot of ideas were thrown out there. But again, talking with the probate staff and my staff and what they're hearing from callers, we believe the best method to start with, at least, is an appointment-only model that's going to keep crowds from congregating. What we have seen in some of the other offices that serve people on a first-come, first-served basis and that are very busy, especially during the summertime, you get crowds congregating hours before the office is actually open. If you've ever driven by the Fairfield Satellite Courthouse during the summer when kids are there to get their driver's license, you'll understand exactly what I mean. This is also going to remove the burden of long wait times, which is difficult for the elderly and vulnerable. It's going to help those citizens who are deemed necessary so that they can know exactly when they need to come in. And by knowing this, we expect them in and out within 15 minutes. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. Again, we are padding a lot of time. We'll have the details in your packets, but it's not because we anticipate the transactions taking an hour. But as I said, we're trying to minimize the amount of people in those offices, and in between their appointments, the staff will still be working. They're going to be entering the information for upcoming appointments. So again, when that customer walks in, they're going to know how much they have to pay. All the data is going to already be entered into the system that probate uses. They are still going to be taking their phone calls. So there's a lot for them to do when they don't actually have somebody standing in front of them. The protocols that, again, work closely with probate staff to come up with these. The customers are going to talk to the schedulers about exactly what type of transaction they need. Supervisors that will be scheduling these appointments are going to have a checklist, and we'll assign them an appointment time. Then they're going to work with their staff, get all of the information entered into the software, and basically park it in the cart. So again, once that customer walks in, the amount of time standing at the desk is going to be very minimal. Complex transactions, a lot of the information and the questions asked will be able to be done beforehand on that phone call. Again, as we stated, we think there's a need to have some sort of trained professional at the door allowing entry, because this will only work if we do not make any exceptions. There can't be any that walk up and are allowed to come in. So we need somebody that can explain that process to them. We've also designed a flyer that can be given out to somebody that may just pull up thinking that they can go in that day or have a phone number they can call. So if there's an open appointment that day, they may be able to. The customers don't have to show ID before they enter the building. And then again, the goal is each customer in and out of the office in 5 to 10 minutes. Probate services, again, are definitely our highest call route right now, but we also work with some other departments that have unique situations that they are having to take into account. That includes brats, and Matthew and his team worked very hard to come up with some solutions for how they can continue to offer more and more of their services. They're going to continue to question passengers, limit the number of passengers per bus, continue the safety precautions that they're already taking with drivers, which include social distancing, wearing masks, and again, right now, phase one of this time, we're going to continue to bill passengers in arrear. Council on Aging, they also feel like they are ready under the appointment-only system to begin making appointments so they can limit the number of people that they have in the office at the same time, but still get some of those, their elderly clients that need to come in, meeting with caseworkers as soon as possible. The proposal is that we start this the week of May 4th, and then if the downward trends continue and everything's working smoothly, move on to phase 2 at the beginning of June, resuming some more activities, and then ongoing, continue to maintain social distancing, marking areas in the office to ensure we have a 6-foot distance, and informing clients when they make the appointment that they should arrive wearing a mask. The coroner's office has proposed that they begin releasing property and remains back to families on May 4th. This would be done again on an appointment-only basis, and the handoff would take place outside the facility, because the North area is still considered to be a hot zone, so we want to keep our families from coming into that facility until it is deemed safe. They also like to allow the vendors inside the facility to perform sterilization and then continue repairs to the facility that started, that were suspended on March 15th. Otherwise, they want to then resume normal operations in phase 2, adhering to less than 10 persons in the facility at one time, and the other social distancing orders. Board of Registrars has currently has staff in each of their offices, making it their home folder that have been handling phone calls. I spoke to Ms. Sweet yesterday, and right now she thinks everybody's got other things on their mind, but anticipates that as we draw closer to election time, that their call volume will pick up. But they have been operating under the guidance of the Secretary of State in the Magnet facility. They are currently assisting some customers face-to-face, again, with appropriate PPE, because we want to ensure that everybody that wants to vote is afforded every opportunity to get registered and make sure they know where to vote. So they would like to continue on this path as much as possible, helping customers through phone calls, mail, and online. And then when someone does need to come into an office, that the appointments be made through the Bayonet staff. It doesn't mean that everyone has to come to Bayonet physically once they need to actually come in to finish their registration, but the Bayonet staff will control the scheduling and make sure that they have proper staffing at the locations. They also are already investigating options to provide documentation on display racks outside and to move some desks around to give them more room in the offices. Animal control, going to continue taking calls and dispatching animal control officers, which they have been doing for aggressive dogs and strays, continuing their social distancing, appropriate PPE, continue to do more about staffing in office, also when meeting with customers and in vehicles. What they propose that they would like to begin doing is reopening to adoptions and retention of dogs, but by appointment only. During the adoption process, a dog of interest would be brought to the outdoor dog run area of the shelter, and if you have not been there, they've got a nice, wide open, gated area with plenty of room, so no one has to stand too close to each other, and they can have a chance to interact with the dog. And then if they do decide to adopt, all the transactions to be conducted outside. Pretty much the same with the retention of dogs. Then going into phase 2, Shirley is going to talk a little bit more about this.
A lot of work went into applying these criteria to every department and every service. Okay, so phase 2, we're looking at the recommendation is to begin phase 2 with a 14-day, looking at a 14-day downward trend. And we can discuss that more if we need to. That's something that I think Zach could address. But we still want to keep lobbies and common areas closed so people don't congregate, offer appointments and limited walk-in options for probate, and offer appointments for other agencies as needed. And all of this is input dependent. So supervisors will constantly be monitoring and checking in with departments to see how it's working. Phase 3, we resume all activities. Applying all of our lessons learned to better serve communities, because what we've noticed is a lot of these efficiencies that we have put in place, looking at how to do this, how to apply the CDC recommendations, are making everything more efficient. So it's been an added benefit, I guess. And incorporating these efficiencies, such as using things such as virtual queuing, and Shannon can talk more about that. I know she's been looking into that for a couple of years now. Improving customer experience, efficiently allocating more resources, and being proactive. So making these appointments, taking care of things before people actually step into the office, things like that, just proactive practices. And obviously continuing to mitigate impact of future events. And then this is the final phase 4. I'll let Shannon talk about this because it's a little bit more about what we can do moving forward.
Thank you, Shirley. And phase 4 is really back to business as better than usual. As Shirley mentioned, we very quickly learned a lot of things that we could be doing more efficiently to improve the customer experience. CIS team has done an amazing job implementing projects that people have been talking about for years and that normally would be on a roadmap and planned out for months and tested, and got some of those technologies in place within weeks, sometimes days. And I don't think that we are ever going back in some areas. This has put in my plug as my normal position as your customer relationship manager. The customers, my customers, are the citizens, our visitors, and our employees. So I try to look at what's going to improve the experience for all of those. I think employees like the idea of knowing, for the most part, that they're going to be walking into these shades. So that's something that we can do with virtual queuing. Citizens can make appointments from their home, from an app they download on their phone. They can also walk in, start looking at some kiosks that would allow for appointment making in the facility. So if you do walk in without an appointment, there's an algorithm that will fit you in. They don't schedule the appointment so tight that it won't allow for any walk-ins. So what this would do is, again, keep our lobbies less crowded. And there are a lot of benefits to that besides just during a pandemic. During cold and flu season, also, I'm sure the sheriff could attest to, it's a good idea just for physical safety reasons for people that you have in the lobby. And also, hopefully those few people will be happier because they are not waiting a long period of time to get the service that they need. And we've also been looking at these kiosks can also serve a function in some instances of accepting payments. So if someone doesn't feel comfortable with mailing in their payment or doesn't want to pay the convenience fee and some of the online service fees, there are some solutions that I've just started investigating that would allow for payment kiosks. So you can pay by credit card, check. It's basically a reverse ATM. You can put your cash in it, and that can all be done in the facilities, but without having to actually interact with somebody on staff. So if you're short-staffed, it's great. Or again, if you're just trying to limit social interaction. So phase 4 is we're back to regular business and improving from the lessons that we've learned and making the most out of all the employees' time so that everything runs more efficient. I believe that is it.
Okay, thank you. And so basically what you're telling us is that phase 2, 3, and 4 are contingent upon how phase 1 works, right? Okay. And we don't have a timeline necessarily exactly when those will take place, but we just are looking ahead as your slide says, okay? Any questions for our staff, our commissioners?
I've got a couple of questions, especially with dealing with probate. If people need to come in there and get their title, the vehicle has to be inspected by one of the staff members to verify that that vehicle does match what's on the paper.
Yeah, that's correct. We're looking to hire, have off-duty law enforcement there, and they would be able to do the VIN inspection.
Are they going to be able to do both? I mean,
Well,
you're going to be crowd control plus, handling these, because there's a lot, right now, you got a backlog on folks that have titles that needs to be updated.
right, and we're going to try to get them in first and make
Okay.
appointments with them first and deal with those. Whether or not that person can handle both, we just don't know yet.
Okay.
That's kind of the intent. That's kind of what we're looking at. It may not work. We may have to leave that law enforcement person at the door and allow one of our staff to go in and out and inspect the vehicles. We hope not.
Yeah.
We're also doing them via FaceTime. They have a smartphone and can take that photo of the plate on their door
Okay.
and bring it in, or send it to us. We're looking at that option as well.
And there,
And
I believe there's a
one of the things too, now, the folks coming in, are they going to, with trying to keep spreading stuff, we're going to issue them masks, to put on their face, or, that's a question, if we're saying, but they will be masked up, and a lot of people they're hard to find right now. I mean, you can't, I went to the back and forth drugstore and stuff trying to find them, you can't find the masks, they're very, very scarce.
At this one time, we're not planning on issuing masks to the public, but we'll have masks available for our staff. You know, at this point in time, they're very scarce, and so we're trying to reserve those. We have a lot of employees that we use those on a daily basis. From my experience, I've seen this in the grocery store and so forth. A lot of people have their own masks. They have masks that they made themselves. So my intuition would tell me that people come in, if they want masks, will come in with their own masks that they have.
I believe that we didn't go into exact detail of how the appointments will work, but if we look at the detail, each department has their own little protocol as far as maybe only one appointment per hour per staff member, and you'll clean the stations afterwards to give adequate time so that there won't be an overlap of people waiting outside to come in, unless people just like to arrive an hour early for their appointment. But, you know, we're trying to address as many things, and we know that we won't have covered everything, and it'll be a work in progress, and we'll have to tweak it probably by the individual department heads. But we're just, you know, I've got some emails this morning. I'm sure the other commissioners got them as well. People are scared to death of what we're going to do this morning. All we're trying to do is to get very minimal access to our public buildings so that we can get some more business accomplished that is really, really stacking up on people. And so that's what we're trying to do. This is, we are not doing anything right now except for talking about reopening some limited access to Baldwin County Commission's public buildings.
Madam Chair, I can add also, I think this is a very conservative approach. We're taking this first step, but also this is scalable up or down. If we find out we can handle more people in a safe and efficient manner, and I think we can scale it up, and if we can't, we can scale it back down. So it's a very flexible plan that we have, and so we'll obviously be monitoring that and taking feedback, and we're doing our very best to make sure we provide services at the same time provide them in a safe way.
And we've been the staff has been working on this and been giving me a little bit of feedback along. I keep asking, where we at? And they keep telling me, look, there's a lot to this. And so they have tweaked it, changed it, and all kinds of things all along. And this is the result that we have today. And the reason that we're having the meeting today is so that we can get all this stuff implemented before, I believe our projected date would be next Monday. And that will be in our form of a motion if the rest of the commissioners desire that actual date. And that's what was in the plans for them trying to get this to us. So today would be the opportunity so that we could use the rest of this week throughout the weekend to make sure that those things are in place. But for right now, this reopening plan primarily concerns the departments and the other elected officials departments that were addressed in the slideshow. Okay?
And probate specifically has a very detailed checklist of everything that will be gone over with the customer when they call in. I believe they're having a meeting this afternoon to go over that. So only specific people in each location will be making appointments. Again, they'll have a checklist of what guidance to give to the people that will be coming in, and at that point,
And this is going to be great, like you said, moving forward. We've been able to address some deficiencies in the process as well, whereas we may have never thought about these things, but this is a way to implement them. So, okay, Commissioner Ball.
Yes, Madam Chairman, I make a motion that we adopt and approve this county phase reopening plan as presented by staff.
And are you proposing the May 4th meeting date?
Proposed May 4th is the date, yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Ball. Do we have a second?
Yes, Madam Chairman, I would second that. I would like to comment relative to communicating to our citizens. I mean, if we're going to have a protocol, we've got to make sure they know what it is, and there can't be exceptions. I'm in line, I'm at my appointment, oh, I left it out in the car. Well, those kind of things they will just make things more difficult. And what we've got to have is people need to understand that there is a protocol, it's for everybody's safety, and you've got to have your checklist taken care of before you even come to your appointment. But I proudly second that motion.
Okay, before we take the vote on that, Judge Taylor is asked to make a comment.
Yes. There's one facility that's kind of unique, and that's the Fairhope Satellite Courthouse. And I say unique in that it houses both probate as well as the courts. We do have some protocols in place as far as through the Sheriff's Department with our court
soon as, you guys are under a different directive, and as soon as you guys get direction, please, by all means, we want, we will work together with you guys to keep everybody safe and coordinated.
I'm looking to get some word on that today, and I'll share that.
Judge Taylor, one of the things that we discussed with that is we're gonna set this up, just like we would, Saturday day, for driver's license testing, where there will be, the road will be up, partitioning the hallway from inside. Once you get inside, we're gonna separate the hallways so people won't go down from probate into the court area. So if people got court, they need to enter in, probably where they always enter into court security, the only door that you can go through the courthouse security.
And whatever measures we need, if we need to put tape on the floor and put arrows and X's, you guys help us out.
It's just gonna be a sign, like Commissioner Davis always says, it's gonna be appropriate signage that will be put up, but we're gonna try to limit that confusion and access to crisscrossing in both directions.
And by having the appointment only, that's not going to have people running around our buildings. It will eliminate the people congregating, and hopefully they'll be in and out on their appointment before the next person is allowed to come in.
Thank you, and I don't want to get off topic, but for just a second, I also want to join in commending your CIS folks. They allowed us to expand our electronic court system as far as what we were doing before, because we had some things in place, and they allowed us to accomplish great deal of work in this period of time, so I just want to compliment.
As we said, one of my favorite comments right now is embrace the opportunities. Okay, any other comments from anyone?
Madam Chairman, a couple of things right now. The Revenue Commissioner, what about you? Are you okay with everything like it is?
Yeah, I'm good. We've got C cards in place, and I think we're going to be kind of lagging behind probate. We're not, this is going to happen at a better time for us. So we're in good shape.
And I guess the driver's license will be suspended until
They won't go back until the state.
the state opens it? Okay.
They're a different directive as well. We do have other elected officials in the room, and before I take the vote, I'll be happy to hear any comments from our sheriff or our district attorney or our circuit clerk.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Of course, the sheriff's office does participate in maintaining the court security function in Fairhope and Foley, that is for the judicial areas. We'll be glad to coordinate with the probate judge, however, on whatever else we need to do. Our plan is to assist in that, possibly with increased patrols, increased observation, particularly, if they do start to congregate, anything like that, we'll be glad to assist with that and coordinate with that as well as working with Judge Taylor once he gets the word about the court system, which is probably going to be a little bit more challenging. We'll be glad to coordinate with our probate judge, however, on whatever else we need to do. Our plan is to assist in that, possibly with increased patrols, increased observation, particularly, if they do start to congregate, anything like that, we'll be glad to assist with that and coordinate with that as well as working with Judge Taylor once he gets the word about the court system, which is probably going to be probably a little bit more challenging in some respects because of the way that the courts have to work once they will open back up. Our plan with the sheriff's office is as well, if the commission votes to open up on May the 4th, we'll go with a limited opening as well for our pistol permits. We do have a procedure that is very similar to the counties, and we'll be announcing that and handling that as well as some of the other operations that we'll have. The one thing that we will continue to
Courthouse is open up for business, so to speak. We are going to be limited.
video visitation only for the month of May. We're going to continue that right now and not allow any in-person or in-house visitation with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
District Attorney?
Well, until the courthouses open up for business, so to speak, we are going to be limited as to what we can do and how we can handle that. Our initial plan for the court system is to begin slowly with small amounts of people coming in if they do that, if we can accomplish that, then we can maintain that safe environment for our employees. So we're ready to get started back with a fully open court, and till then, we're kind of following your lead on how we can best get the courthouses open, get things back to semblance of normal.
Okay, thank you. Circuit Clerk, do you have any comments?
We'll follow the leadership of the presiding circuit judge, and
Okay.
hopefully we'll get some things in place to protect my employees at the front lines, because we're the ones that see the pro ses and take the payments and the filings and all of that stuff.
Okay.
So,
And just make a comment that if any of you guys here who are elected officials through the court system that have activities with the court system, our staff, which is primarily Sherry Lee and Shannon, please use them. They are there to, I'm offering them up right now, but I know they're smiling, but they have worked tirelessly on this and tried to, as Shannon said, she is our call center director, and they hear it. They hear what we don't hear, and so we've tried to, but you're going to always miss something. So you guys help them out. If you got any ideas, please come to that. And I know this is kind of a strange situation. You don't normally have all these comments before you take a vote, but this is a strange time, isn't it? So anybody else before we take this vote that would have a comment from an elected official or from our staff? Okay, hearing none. For the commissioners, we have had a motion and we have had a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Okay, we will work on this, getting everything in place so that we can reopen our buildings on phase 1 Monday morning. And I would like to make one comment before we move to the next item on our agenda. I am pleading with the public to help and respect our procedures. You guys in Baldwin County have done a great job. I believe that is reflected in our numbers, and I am asking for your respect of the protocols we're going to put in place so that this will work. Thank you so much. Next item on our agenda is to consider and or authorize the establishment of Baldwin Moving Forward, Baldwin County-wide Recovery Working Group, to be tasked with creating a plan for a one-stop information and resource model related to the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic and the economic impact on the Baldwin County citizens. So, what we wanted to bring for you today, and I think I'm going to have Sherry Lee and Dana from our VOAD, which is our volunteer organization after disaster. Did I get that right? Almost. I'll let you correct me. If you will, if you have a mic or if you want to come up to the podium and explain to us, because what we want our citizens to know is that Baldwin County is going to help in whatever type of recovery that we're going to need. We really don't know, do we, exactly what we're going to be hit with, but we'll let Ms. Dana talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner Underwood. It's voluntary organizations active in disasters, but most of the members of VOAD don't even know how to say that, so it's okay.
What does it stand for again?
Voluntary organizations active in disasters.
Active, not
yes.
after. Mm-hmm. Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
because we work before, during, and after.
I'll try not to forget that. Thank you.
That is where we are, and yes, this is an unusual situation. Generally, we wait for the disaster to be over in order to respond, but we're in the midst, so we are hoping to plan going forward, because we're not sure exactly what to expect, but we want to be ready for anything. So we know that there's going to be an economic impact to our county, and an emotional and sociological impact to our county as well. And so our organizations want to be proactive in planning for assisting in that recovery process. So we've been working with Sherry Lee and the EMA to put a group together. We would like to be able to start meeting and talking about a plan. We don't have any specific details right this moment, but we did want to have that avenue
So this is to authorize the establishment of your group,
of the working group, yes.
of the working group, okay? Commissioners, do you have any questions for Dana or for Sherry Lee?
Madam
One
Chair.
question, y'all gonna be trying to, get the information that's, people trying to file for whatever, that's, helping them? Is that my understanding?
I apologize, Commissioner. I'm hard of hearing and I
Yeah.
can't understand you.
Okay. I said, well, are y'all gonna try to help the citizens file for anything that they need as far as, aid from, the federal government? Is that
We
what y'all's
hope-
planning on doing, Shirley?
We
I think
certainly
that's what-
hope to be as up to date on all of those processes as possible. And so that's part of the hope is to be able to assist in that.
That's part of what this working group will look at. So we'll evaluate what type of process we need to put in place to help citizens recover. So if I'm making an assumption, yes, that would definitely be part of that, is helping them navigate all of these federal programs, as well as any state programs and any other programs available to help people become whole again after this economic disaster.
Yes, so with that, do we have a motion to authorize the establishment of this? Oh, wait, Joe wants to talk, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Madam Chairman, if we could. This will actually be a clearinghouse of information. Is that the idea? So if someone's got a question about something that they may either need or be entitled to from some program, is that my understanding correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, and I hope that we can have the media and all of us in this room communicate to everyone that we need to be keeping very particular records about how this is impacting everything we do, whether it's in your household, within your department, within your church, within your school, or any organization. Because going forward, this is going to be data-driven, and we need to have good information for all of